guys, we are back. Let's get a bit centered. There we go. With episode 12 of Tez Talks of the Q&A Series 2. And we got a couple of really cool questions for you. For me. Not for you. I would, for me, I know what my passions are. There are certain things that I love to do, and I feel like when I go and do them, I end up meeting a bunch of like-minded people. So for me, that's like I would join a mummy group and meet other mamas. Pottery, I'd go and do some pottery. I find it very therapeutic and meditative. So I think I'd be able to find some people there. I think joining a yoga class and hanging out at like organic cafes and vegan restaurants, and there's a real I think like a lot of veganism and yoga and these sort of more spiritual ways of being, veganism, a lot of veganism has been coming to the forefront recently because like the Buddhist belief is that treat every sentient being with respect and ensure that no sentient beings are in suffering. So a lot of Buddhists are actually vegetarian or vegan, and so I think going to restaurants like that, there is a level of consciousness among a lot of the people who choose to live a lifestyle like that. And I've always found it so much easier to connect with mindful thinkers because that's what I'm passionate about. So I think for me, I would go, aside from the motherhood aspect, I would definitely do yoga classes, pottery, and maybe join a meditation class. Keep going to like a local haunt, find like a great vegan restaurant or a great vegetarian restaurant and go and meet the people who work there, who serve. I'm sure they're a part of wonderful communities, and just ask questions and just be really brave to put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm new in town, I'm looking to integrate myself into some new communities, and then just be a yes person. Say yes. Say, if someone's like, hey, there's a bonfire happening, there's a bunch of people going down, just a local community, some artists, whatever. Just say yes. You've got nothing to lose, especially if you're in a new city, you want to meet new friends. I think that's a really good way to do it. Just immerse yourself in the community, and then you'll naturally gravitate towards the people who are passionate about similar things that you are. So that's what I would suggest. I'm not sure if you mean there's earth, fire, wood, metal, and what's the last one? Because of this question, I did a questionnaire to see which one I most relate to. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water. And I'm a big fan of the Tao. And so this is kind of how the Tao breaks down these different elements. So they say that there are the 5 Taoist elements: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. So it was an interesting question because I was like, I've never really thought about that. I've actually never delved into that side of my spirituality. And I was like, oh, this is exciting. I can learn something more. So I went and I Googled just those different elements. And I found this website, if you guys want to go to it, and you can answer a questionnaire to assess what your energy composition is. And so it's nqa.org. And it's a personality questionnaire, and it is extracted from a book called Between Heaven and Earth, written by Harriet Beinfeld and Ephraim Korngold. And the 5 phases they refer to is wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. It's just it's Eastern philosophies, and it's the principle of the 5 phases. It describes the flow of ki and the balance of yin and yang. It was really funny. So I started going through all the questions, and you do +2 if it really resonates with you and it really sounds like you. You do +1 if it sounds pretty much like you, not totally. Then there's 0 is just neutral, and then there's -1 where you're like, no, that's not me. -2 is like, that's definitely not me. So I went down and I calculated in all different phases, and it was funny, my score, like for the phase 1, you don't know what phase they are, you're just answering questions. So for phase 1, I was, what was 18. My score? 18. Phase 2, it was 19. Phase 3, 0. It was 0. Phase 4, -18. And phase 5, -16. So there was obviously some clear winners for me, and then I wasn't surprised when I found out what they were. So for me, I guess I resonate more with the fire element. Surprise, surprise. And I think it was wood. It was fire and wood, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so for me that says the first element, fire, is the most masculine of the 5 elements. It is considered very yang. And it says personality traits are love, passion, leadership, spirituality, insight, dynamism, aggression, intuition, reason, and expressiveness. I was like, that sounds like me. A fire type succeeds by becoming warm-hearted and generous. Experiences of love, compassion, fun, joy, pleasure are healing for fire individuals. The challenge for a fire type is to share joy and laughter without thought of a reward. So it was really interesting to just kind of delve into that, and then to see wood. I was pretty much on par with wood. That is another very masculine energy. And that one was, it can exist in either a yang or yin state. Yang is that really kind of strong masculine energy. Yin is a little bit more feminine and softer energy. It says wood qualities are bold actions, planning, initiating new projects, idealism, imagination, compassion, and competition. I'm sure my husband would be like, that sounds just like you. So yeah, there's like a lot of interesting things in there. So those 2 are the ones that I relate to the most. From everything I was kind of reading about it, it was saying that the 4 elements of fire, water, air, and earth are the basis of many magical and spiritual systems. The Native American medicine wheel, the 4 corners of pagan European ritual, the 4 elements of alchemical schools of ancient Egypt, and the 4 elements of astrology. Even the tarot deck and playing cards are based on these 4 elements, whereby fire is clubs, water is hearts, air is spades, and earth is diamonds. So I thought that was really interesting, and it's something I haven't really delved into so much. So it tells me a lot about myself. I'm very yang. I think in having this experience and going through the questionnaire and seeing these answers, it really helps me to recognize that I want to continue to embrace and nourish and develop my yin energy too, my softer, calmer, more feminine energy, because I'm a very strong woman. And yeah, it was really interesting. And I think, oh my goodness, my baby's asleep. I hope he doesn't wake him up. Yeah, and I just think it'll be interesting to delve further into it and learn more about it. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I've never really divided up energies like that before, and I really enjoy it. I thought it was really insightful and interesting. It's like that personality test, the Myers-Briggs personality test. I'm an ENFJ, and I remember once I discovered that, I was so excited because I got to research about it and connect with other ENFJs, and so now I'm excited to read more about fire and wood and some of the ways in which I can challenge myself to develop further and get deeper into my spiritual work, and really, I really want to encourage that other side of myself too, the yin side. I think it's incredibly important, and so I really liked it. But you're right, yeah, the flow of earth, it's yin and yang constantly. I don't know if you guys were ever into this, but back in the 90s, we would wear like a yin-yang necklace, like one of those black and white yin-yang ones, and within the black there was a small dot of white, and within the white there was a small dot of black. And I don't think I really realized what that meant at the time. It was just like a nice necklace that I used to wear that was really popular. But now it's so funny that I'm like getting drawn back into learning about the yin and the yang. I think it's very important. And yeah, so thank you for that question. Yeah, that like it's very, for me, feeling different types of energies day to day is just like a part of it. I mean, I think there are peaks and valleys all day, every day, where you energetically feel connected to something and then you feel really, really off energetically. And it is the universal flow. It's always different. It's always in flux, which is why I think it's important to be really open to whatever comes your way and to be able to have a solid grounding so that you stay unwavering despite the energetical shifts around you. But yeah, it's maybe that's that mass energy that we feel sometimes when there's like a wonderful movement towards, like right now I feel like there's this beautiful energy out there in society about like women's rights, and there's such an incredible positive uplifting let's connect with each other kind of flow going on right now. And then there'll be other moments where all of a sudden people are very much focusing on a lot of the suffering going on in the world, and it's just these flows constantly. It's like a stream, and you know, like a stream, it's always flowing, so it's always moving, it's never stagnant. So I think you have to make sure that despite all the water and despite all the movement and the change, you feel solid in yourself so that you don't get taken by any of it, and you can stay as solid as a rock. Yeah, so that all makes sense, and that was really cool. Thanks for asking me that question. That like forced me to go deeper and to learn some new stuff, so that was cool. Thanks. All right, I think we're kind of out of time, so next time we'll do a few more questions. All right, bye guys.